The museum. I had been looking forward to my quiet Saturday at the City Museum for weeks. Work had been brutal, my apartment was under renovation, and frankly, I just wanted a day where no one would bother me. Museums were my sanctuary. You could slip inside, walk among ancient artifacts and priceless art, and let history or creativity drown out the noise of modern life. People whispered, staff moved gracefully, and time seemed to slow down between marble statues and oil paintings. But of course, peace never lasts long when a Karen walks in. I was waiting in the ticketing line, maybe the fifth person back. Families with kids, a couple on a date, an older gentleman with a cane. It was a patient little group. The lobby had that hushed elegance. Polished marble floors, sunlight streaming through tall windows, the soft echo of footsteps. Then came the sound that shattered it all. Sharp heels clacking, followed by the piercing tone of someone who wanted the world to hear her displeasure. "Excuse me! Excuse me! Do you people not realize who I am?" Every head turned. There she was, the embodiment of entitlement. Blonde highlights a little too brassy, oversized sunglasses even though we were indoors, a floral dress that looked more suited to a brunch Instagram post than a museum. She held a designer tote bag at her elbow, phone in hand like a scepter. She didn't even glance at the line. She marched straight to the counter, cutting in front of everyone. I have a VIP membership," she announced, slamming her phone down as if that proved anything. "I don't wait in lines." The staff member behind the desk, a young woman with neatly tied hair and the kind of customer service smile carved from endurance, calmly said, "Ma'am, this is the admissions line. We'll be happy to help you once." "I said I have a membership," Karen snapped, her voice rising so it echoed against the marble. "Do you understand? I spend more in one visit than these people do all year." She swept her hand at the line of ordinary guests, as if we were dirt under her manicured nails. The couple in front of me exchanged a look. The kids and the family behind me went quiet. The older gentleman gripped his cane harder, his face tightening. I just sighed. Here we go. The staffer kept her cool. "If you'll allow me to see your membership card, I'll be able to assist you." Karen scoffed, rifling through her tote. "I don't carry it. Why should I? Don't you people keep records? Just look me up. My name is Karen." The staffer waited. Karen rattled off her last name like it was supposed to unlock secret doors. The young woman typed, then shook her head. "I'm sorry, I don't see that name listed in our membership database." Karen's face twisted. "That's impossible. You must have spelled it wrong. Try again." Honestly, the incompetence here. I bit my lip to keep from smirking. She didn't have a membership. I could already see where this was going, and I decided right then, if fate wanted to serve Karen some humiliation today, I'd be more than happy to be its waiter. After 10 minutes of loud complaining, gesturing, and demanding to see a manager, Karen finally bought a regular admission ticket, slamming her credit card onto the desk so hard the people in line winced. When she turned, her sunglasses finally came off. Her eyes scanned the lobby like a queen inspecting peasants. Then, with a huff, she pushed right past me and muttered, "Some of us have real appointments, not just time to waste." I didn't respond. I just followed her inside at a safe distance, curious to see what chaos she'd unleash. The first gallery was a collection of Renaissance paintings. People stood quietly in front of works hundreds of years old, listening to the gentle voice of a docent explaining brush techniques and symbolism. Karen bulldozed right into the group. "This one," she said loudly, pointing at a portrait. "This is obviously Michelangelo." The docent blinked, politely correcting, "Actually, ma'am, that's a work by Titian." "No," Karen said, waving her hand as if brushing away facts. "I know Michelangelo when I see him. I have friends in the art world. I've been to Florence." The group exchanged side glances. The docent, keeping composure, gently explained the difference in style and date. Karen crossed her arms, lips curling smugly. "Well, maybe your museum mislabeled it. Wouldn't be the first time." I could see the docent's smile falter. The other guests frowned. Karen looked triumphant, as if she'd scored a point. I leaned just close enough to be heard and said in my mildest, most innocent voice, "Oh, wow, I didn't realize Michelangelo was painting in Venice during Titian's career. That must be so rare." Karen puffed up, nodding. "Exactly. You get it. Most people here clearly don't." The docent's eyes flicked to me. I saw the tiniest spark of gratitude, I smiled back like butter wouldn't melt in my mouth. Inside, I was already sharpening the knives. Karen proceeded like a tornado through each gallery. She interrupted guided tours. She complained about the lighting. She loudly told a group of schoolchildren to stop breathing on the art. She even leaned over the rope to snap selfies dangerously close to sculptures, ignoring staff warnings. At one point, she hissed at a teenage girl who accidentally brushed against her arm. "Watch it! Do you know how much this dress cost?" The girl's mother pulled her away, glaring. Karen just sniffed, adjusting her sunglasses back onto her head like a crown. I trailed nearby, occasionally tossing in innocent comments that made her dig her hole deeper. When she claimed she was a personal friend of the curator, I softly asked, "Oh, which one? The ancient art curator or the contemporary wing?" She blurted out a random name that didn't exist. The docent's eyebrow arched, but she didn't correct her. Not yet. When Karen sneered at a painting and said, "I could do that with my eyes closed," I tilted my head and murmured, "Then maybe you should donate your work to the museum. I'm sure they'd love to hang it right next to Monet." Karen beamed at the sarcasm, taking it as a compliment. Others in the room muffled laughs. She was spiraling, but she didn't know it yet. It all came to a head in the central atrium. A famous guided tour was about to start. Masterpieces of the collection. Dozens of people gathered, the docent standing by a towering marble statue that anchored the hall. Karen shoved her way to the front. "I'll lead this tour," she announced, loud enough that the crowd fell silent. "You clearly don't know how to engage an audience. I'll give people the real story." The docent, a soft-spoken man in his 60s with silver hair, looked startled but recovered quickly. "Ma'am, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but this is an official program." Karen ignored him, turning to the crowd. "For example, this statue. This is Aphrodite, goddess of beauty. Everyone knows that, and it's Roman, obviously. You can tell from the marble." The docent took a slow breath. "Actually, this is a Hellenistic Greek piece depicting Artemis, not Aphrodite. And it's carved from Parian marble, a Greek stone, not Roman." Karen laughed, high-pitched and brittle. "Please, I think I know more than some tour guide. I studied art history in college." That was my moment. I stepped forward just enough and said, pleasantly, "Oh, wow. Could you tell us what year it was carved, then, since you studied this?" All eyes swiveled to her. Karen froze. "Well, it's ancient. That's all anyone needs to know." The docent, bless him, kept his face neutral. But the crowd was beginning to murmur. I smiled. "You said you were friends with the curator, right?" "Which one again?" Karen blinked. "The head one, obviously. He invited me personally today." The docent tilted his head. "That's interesting. I happen to be the head curator, and I don't recall ever meeting you." Gasps rippled through the group. Karen's face went crimson. The docent gestured gracefully. "For clarity, dear guests, this is indeed Artemis, a Greek work from the 2nd century BCE. Museums take great care to ensure accuracy. We would never mislabel our collection." His tone sharpened just slightly. "And we always ask visitors to respect staff and fellow guests." Karen sputtered. "This is ridiculous. I demand you treat me with respect." From the back, the older gentleman with the cane finally spoke. His voice was steady, cutting through the tension. "Respect is earned, and you've shown none." The crowd broke into murmurs of agreement. Some laughed outright. The schoolchildren pointed and giggled. Karen's composure shattered. "You're all jealous. You don't know class when you see it. This place is a joke." Security had been quietly waiting nearby. At a nod from the docent, 2 guards approached. "Ma'am, we're going to have to ask you to leave." "What? No, I'm a member." You purchased a single admission ticket today," one guard said flatly. "You've disrupted tours, harassed staff, and endangered exhibits. You are banned from the museum effective immediately." Her face twisted, desperation setting in. "You can't do this to me. I'll sue. But her threats drowned under the sound of laughter. Actual, unrestrained laughter from the crowd. Parents, kids, tourists, all of them, chuckling at the sight of the self-proclaimed expert being escorted out, sputtering and red-faced. Her heels clacked furiously against the marble as she was marched toward the exit. "You'll regret this. You'll all regret this." The grand doors closed behind her. Silence followed, then applause. Actual applause. The docent gave a small bow, then turned back to the group. "Now, as I was saying before the interruption, Artemis here is a fine example of The tour continued smoothly, the mood lighter than ever. I lingered at the back, enjoying every second. Karen was gone, her empire of entitlement crumbled into dust. And best of all, it hadn't been staff who cut her down. It had been her own arrogance, nudged gently into the spotlight. For the rest of the day, whispers followed in every gallery. "Did you see that woman? The one who got thrown out?" People shook their heads, chuckling. She'd become a living cautionary tale. I spent hours wandering through the exhibits in peace, soaking in the quiet. Every so often, I thought of her red face, her sputtering protests, the laughter that followed her out the door. Brutal. Cutting. Perfect. And when I finally left the museum that evening, I passed the spot where she'd been dragged out. I half expected to see her still there, fuming. But no, just calm marble steps, golden light of sunset, and the memory of her downfall lingering sweetly in the air. Some art you hang on walls. Some art, like today, you get to watch in real life. And Karen had been the masterpiece of her own humiliation. Like and subscribe. Share if this happened to you or someone you know.